Thank you, Matt. After a two-game winning streak at home, we went on the road to Coastal, had easy travel to get in there, to App. Had a great practice on Wednesday night, had a great shooting practice, and came out looked a little sluggish. I don't know if the elevation got us or what, but we fell behind early and played catch-up. Couldn't get what we needed done in the first half. Cut it to 11, but wound up getting outshot from the field, and certainly defensively we weren't very good as well, and had 21 turnovers, a season high. The last two games we had 17. We had 21 in this basketball game, and had our second worst three-point shooting game of the year after Toledo. So you do that, you're not going to give yourself a chance to win very often. I'd said last week here and at other outlets that if we played well and shot the ball, we'd have a chance to win, and we didn't do that. So disappointing game. We rebounded the ball pretty well against them, but just wasn't enough. It was the first time that they'd ever beaten us. We're the last Sun Belt team for them to beat, and disappointing. All the players were frustrated, coaches were frustrated. We went to Coastal, had a great practice on Friday, another pretty easy travel day, and came out Saturday and ran into the hottest team in the Sun Belt that won 4 in a row coming in, and they've got a talented team. Like us, they have had injuries, but they got a couple of their guys back, and they're playing well. And turned it over in the first half, and instead of going down 4, down 6, and then the second half, we were able to get Jakenan Gant back a little bit. He only played 10 minutes in the first half with foul trouble. He had 3 fouls at the half. And he came out the second half, had 21 and 7 in the second half, and played extremely well, but just didn't get enough support. I think in the last 2 home games, our top 4 shooters were 23 for 44 from 3. In these 2 games, they were 7 for 36. So that's 48 points we left on the court here at home, and hopefully coming back for a short week, we'll be ready to go against Georgia Southern. They've got a good basketball team, and we beat them on the road, and know that they'll come in ready to play. There are a lot of teams jammed up in here. We could have really helped ourselves last week. Unfortunately, we didn't do that, and we're going to have to play good at home against these 2 opponents this week. Of course, Friday is a nationally televised game on ESPN2, 8 o'clock tip, I believe. And we've got exciting halftime show. Should be a good basketball game. We want a good crowd, Cajun Nation, to come out and support our university and support these young men that are trying really hard for us.
What did you do well first time against Georgia Southern?
Made shots. Everyone contributed, Dan, and we made shots early. We had a run in the middle of the first half to go up at the half, and our defense was pretty good too. Georgia Southern made 6 three-point baskets in that game, which is one of our best defensive efforts of the year. We've lost. There have been 8 games where our opponents have made double-figure threes, and or 9 games, excuse me, and we're 1 and 8 in those games. So it's important that we hold them down from the three-point line.
Of the things that didn't go right on the road, what was the one thing that was the most concerning, and the one thing that you have to correct?
Well, we didn't make shots, and we didn't fight the way we needed to, but we need to be more disciplined on both sides of the ball, both offensively and defensively. We certainly have to take better care of the ball too. But again, short week, we're glad to get back at it. You know, I'm almost glad we play Wednesday instead of Thursday, so we get back on the court and get back on the horse, so to speak.
How much of a just gut check is this for you guys, is the way you guys lost, and how can that be a rallying point for you guys as well?
Well, it's disappointing to lose, and we expect to win. You know, this is the first conference road sweep that we've had in 2 calendar years, going back to Georgia State, Georgia Southern, with Jay Wright and Frank Bartley and that group. So back in 16, 17. And sometimes it happens. The other teams are good in this league. And as I said, App was picked 6. Coastal's the hottest team in the league right now. So we just have to block that out and come back and try to win.
Did any of what happened last week have to do with being on the road, or was that just coincidental?
Well, part of it's on the road in college basketball. You know, I got home or back to the hotel Saturday and watched Loyola play at Illinois State. Porter Moser's a friend of mine that used to coach in this league at Little Rock, and he coached Illinois State. And Loyola, earlier this year, they lost at Missouri State 70-35. 70-35. This team that went to the Final Four. I mean, it's college basketball. I was listening to a radio show this morning, and Iowa beat Michigan 74-59 by 15, and these people, it's like Michigan's going to fold up their tent or something. I mean, it's college basketball and conference play on the road. This is what you get. So we just got to bounce back and be ready to play.
With the type of game you guys had against Georgia Southern, how much of a just even better effort do you expect from them this time around? Because that was one of your closer games this season.
Well, they'll play well. It could be the last time we faced Tukey Brown, who's one of the premier players in conference history. I believe he'll be first-team All-League 4 times. Scored over 2,000 points. He's one of the leading scorers in Sun Belt history, and I believe he's the leading scorer in Georgia Southern history. So he'll come in ready to play as well. There are other guys. Quan Jackson's a good player. Monte Ellis is a outstanding rebounder, or Monte Glenn, excuse me, is an outstanding rebounder and scorer inside. And he hurt us on the glass over there. So they've got a good group, and we'll have to play well to win.
It's a good thing they don't have Monte Ellis. Just going into Friday with the Georgia State, what's it mean just to play on national TV and what's having exposure?
It's a great opportunity for our university to showcase what Cajun Nation's all about, the remodel of Cajun Dome, and certainly hope we have a great student turnout like we've had and a great crowd. It should be exciting. We've got an NBA halftime performance in Red Panda, which is outstanding. I've seen that before. It'll be very entertaining for our fans, and just an opportunity you don't get every day in the middle of the season.
Why do you think that series over the years has developed into arguably your best Sun Belt series matchup?
Probably because the year they came into the league, they were immediately eligible for the league. They didn't have to set out any probation. And I told the coaches at the league meetings that they'll compete for the championship immediately in our sport, and they did. And they came in here, and we lost 2 games at home that year. And on a Thursday night, they beat us by 5, I believe, here in the Cajun Dome. And Coach's son had a great game, scored 35 or so, got to the free throw line a lot, and we just couldn't stop him in the second half. And that kind of set the tone after that game. Their fans jumped on me pretty quick, and it's been the same ever since, to be honest.
Does some of it maybe have to do with, you guys have been up there and the games have been extra meaningful for most of the years, and maybe does some of it have to do with, the personality of some of the players? I mean, you've got some passionate guys, whether it be Sean on your end and Alfred, or RJ on their end, and now Simmons, and does that play a part too? Yeah,
Simons is quite the player for sure, and he's pretty brash at times. So I don't know. I mean, he's preseason player of the year, and there's always some chatter, but just competitive. Their coaching staff's competitive. Ours is competitive, and as I said earlier, we beat them here that first time that we ever, or excuse me, they beat us here the first time we ever played. Then we went up there and lost by 1 on a last-second shot, and then of course we beat them in the tournament and ended their season, sent them the NIT, which they lost 2 days later to Clemson. So from that instance on, the rivalry's been good, and I'm just glad to play them here. It seems like we go up there. We've been up there twice since we've been here and played them, so we're excited. We didn't play well the last time we were here against them either, so we're ready to play.
Obviously, you guys still want to make threes, but just what's your game plan of attack when they're not falling? What are you telling your guys about, we're not hitting threes, here's what we can do instead?
Well, you have to do the other things that you try to do always, and it's take care of the basketball, get to the free throw line, rebound the basketball. And we've had success rebounding against these teams in the past, and hopefully that'll continue. But if we're not making threes, we certainly don't need the other team to make them.